Hi, welcome to On the Line. Happy New Year, and I hope things have gone great for you guys in the start of 2018. 2017 was a gas. I'm Britton NewOne Carter, and this is On the Line. Tonight, I have with me my producer, the person that makes the wheels turn on this thing, Nahamani.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me. I want to let all of our viewers know that you can follow us on social media. We're on Facebook at On the Line TV Show, and we're also on Twitter at On the Line TV Show. And if you want to chime in or interact with us during the show, use hashtag Watch On the Line.
Isn't she a dog, baby? Hey, listen, if you notice, we're doing something a little different tonight. And what we have going on tonight is we have our year in review. You know, 2017 was a gas. We kind of like broke our bones, so to speak, on 2017.
It was definitely an interesting year. We learned a lot.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
can definitely say that.
Absolutely. It was a turbulent year. You know, it was ups and downs. As she said, we learned a lot. But we had some really great guests all throughout, no matter what.
We did. Starting from our very first show up until our last episode in 2017, we had some dynamic guests. We had people from all walks of life. It was something I could have never imagined when we first started talking about the show and the ideas for the show. You know, what ended up happening was so much bigger and badder than my little brain could have handled. So.
Hey, and it was for mine as well. Mine's kind of little as well. But this, you know, I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out during this segment to some very instrumental people who were really instrumental in getting on the line. On the line. You know what I mean? So, you know, my hat's off to Rob Wilson and his crew, Brandon, our technical engineer who does a fabulous job.
Yeah, I wish we could have Brandon on the show with us, but he's running the camera and the equipment and all of that. Because I'd like to get his take on how our first year went and, you know, what his favorite episode was.
Absolutely.
That'd
absolutely. Because this guy here, he helped make this thing go.
Definitely.
You know, I also like to thank people like Mazan, who's been instrumental throughout my whole career in movies and plays and every segment of entertainment.
And we can't forget about Sarah Green.
And let's not forget about
can't
Sarah.
Forget Miss Sarah.
That's right. I dare not forget about Butterfly. Congratulations, thanks Sarah. Get well. We saw your segment with the kidney sisters. That was great. You're doing great. Guys watching over you. Get well, sister.
Yeah, these ladies, I'm newer to the industry, and they took me under their wing. Mazan just set me down and taught me so much. She taught me about graphics, and she taught me about casting, and she told me what I need to do to keep you in line, and so far it's working.
I was wondering how you got those secrets. so yeah, but it's great, you know. And for those of you that don't know, this is my niece. This is my niece, okay? And her dad and I he's my brother, you know, in every sense of the word, and I love him dearly. And he graced our presence on the show.
Yes.
So why don't we start with Dad, because you did
I
that
actually
show.
got to do the interview. It was my first time hosting, and I gained a lot of respect for you that night. It's a lot harder sitting here and posing the questions and managing the time and keeping the show flowing than it is behind the scenes. So. It was awesome, though. I got to really dig into some of the social work that he's doing, and let him know, you know, I always thank him for what he does, but let him know, like, as a community, we really appreciate what he's doing for you know, trying to fight the justice system. He went this year again on Christmas to the parole board, and he did his annual Christmas protest, so while everybody's opening gifts and breaking bread with their families, he was out there in the cold, protesting and keeping it on the line.
That's right. And why I'm saying that, you know, I keep mentioning on the line, and I'd be remiss if I don't thank Mr. Eddie Hill. Eddie Hill and I, he sat around, and that's how we came up with the concept on the line. So,
really?
You know, I can't steal all the credit for it, but we were tossing things around, and we had been in places we never wanted to be before. And the common term was once I hit the line. So we came up with on the line.
Okay.
You know.
See, I didn't know that.
Now, what was one of the bright points between you and your dad in that segment?
I think the biggest thing was being able to really thank him, and he talked about his newsletter that he has. The newsletter that goes out to the prisons.
Right.
People write in and they talk about their problems that they're having, whether it's with other inmates, with the corrections officers, and he writes back to them. He sends them envelopes. He'll actually take their issues and present it to people that can do something about it. So he's definitely keeping it on the line out there in the community. So it was really interesting to really just get to dig in. I mean, of course, he's my father. We talk every day, but I don't always get to hear about the work that he's doing. It was nice just to kind of put all the family stuff aside and just focus on the impact that he's having in the community.
I was sure pleased to toss you in there and see you do your thing. You did a great job. I appreciate you. One of my favorite shows, and I guess I'll start with the first show.
Oh yeah.
Why not start at the beginning?
Yes.
It was my first show, my freshman year, and it was Ali Rashid
and Michelle
Dillingham.
That's right.
And wow, unbelievable. You talking about scared to death. I'm sitting there with two powerhouses that are very articulate.
Very.
And they're knowledgeable. And it was so intimidating. And these are my friends.
Right.
And yet it was so intimidating, from the standpoint that I got a chance to really delve inside their minds. And when I realized how powerful they were intellectually,
right.
It was like, wow.
That was the one episode where Brother Ali Rashid was talking about the trauma that some of these children experience in growing up in poverty, single family households.
Right.
Witnessing drugs and crimes, and that really got me thinking a lot about the youth and the impact that some of the social justice issues that we talk about are having on the next generation. So that was deep. And
they complemented each other very well because Michelle, she's a fighter for social causes as well.
Yes.
And very knowledgeable.
She fought all the way to the end.
She is a rumbler.
Yes.
And Michelle, I love you dearly. It's political. Things happen in politics.
But she did not.
You did
concede.
not.
She did not give up.
And
she fought all the way to the end. Every ballot was counted twice.
That's right. That's right.
She was in there, and I commend her for that because it's a lot easier. And it's funny, we were talking about it earlier. A lot of people during the election season, people that were running for office were real political on social media, and they were posting 3 to 5 times a day and doing all of this. And then after the election, they've gotten real quiet. And Michelle is still out there fighting for social justice issues. Even though she's not in office, she's still, a big part of the community and making a difference. So.
And while we're there, I'll go ahead and take the helm with this next segment. And, we're talking about politicians that are out there on social media. She and also Kelly Prather.
Yes.
Now, Kelly, she fought tooth and nail as well. Actually, there was 3 candidates. One of them had gotten into office, but I had selected 3 candidates in my mind who I would have loved to have seen in office. So great, congratulations. And the other 2 was, of course, Kelly and Michelle.
Greg just had his swearing-in ceremony this past week.
Right.
So he is officially a council member.
That's right.
Ali Triana, who helped us get him on the show and made all the arrangements for his kids and all of that. She's got a position now with the city.
Right.
So it's good to see
So
people.
that was our second or third show.
That was our third show. Our second show was
show.
Della Rucker and Otis Stevens.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He says he was nervous with Michelle and Ali. He was really nervous with Della and
I
Otis.
was sweating bullets. If you go back on YouTube and you see that segment, you'll probably want to try to get me a handkerchief or something. Somebody do something. I was wringing wet.
That was fun. That was one of our episodes we still have to go back and laugh at.
Yeah. And
but you handled it well. We made it through it. We got through it. They gave us some great information.
Great information.
They gave us some great information, what's going on in the community and urban planning. And it's something, if you watch the news, it's something that's always changing and shifting. They're talking about the soccer stadium now. Where's FC Cincinnati going to be? Are they going to get the MLS team?
Right.
You know,
Right.
so
Right.
all that information, and that was what,
Right.
9-10 months ago.
Exactly.
And you know that we can still use that information to see what's going on today.
Right. And what are they going to do with the site where the Cincinnati Gardens was located? You know, I don't
see
hear
it's
any
being
conversations.
demolished.
Yeah.
I don't know that they have any actual plans or any buyers for the land.
That seemed like it may be
A good place for a soccer team.
Hey, why not? Why not? Have you considered that?
Jeff, maybe we need to have a third meeting.
Right. Absolutely. So take it away. What was your next?
My favorite shows were the ones dealing with the kids. Like I said, Ali Rashid brought a lot of great issues up about how our children are impacted. And you came up with the concept of doing the gun violence show.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a couple different segments with that. We had the mother who had lost her child to gun violence. And then we had the two young men who were, you know, still active in street life or whatever. And everybody sat there and talked. And the best part of that show was, y'all didn't see it on the camera, but after the camera stopped rolling, everybody hugged, everybody exchanged numbers.
That's right.
It was so much love.
That's right.
Kelly was here.
It was a kumbaya moment.
Yep,
Kelly was here.
Yep, Kelly came on our show a few times.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and thanks a lot, Kelly Prather, for you know, always answering the call whenever we called you. Ali Rashid,
Yes,
know,
he's
you
been
as
on a
well.
few times.
You've been on several times.
Yeah, he was here on the segment with Hope
Absolutely.
and the two young men.
Absolutely.
And
You
then
know,
the other
for
side
both
of that,
segments.
right? The other side, we had the two young men that are into entrepreneurship. They've got the Maximum Volume
That's right.
clothing
That's
line.
right. That's right.
Vaughn and Marcus. Yes,
Exactly.
I remember.
Exactly. Great guys. And Brandon, our technical engineer, you know, it was so funny behind the scenes because he's talking to one of the guys' girlfriends. And he's speaking to her in
Spanish.
In Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like,
wait a minute, what just happened?
We were just like amazed, like, wait a minute, hold on. His brother really fluently.
Yes, he's an awesome guy. He is multilingual. I think he speaks a couple languages.
He does.
I know he left us for a while and went over to Costa Rica,
Absolutely.
him and his family,
Mm-hmm.
and we missed him dearly. We were happy when he came back. So, but yeah, he speaks fluent Spanish.
Yeah.
And I wonder if she was surprised to hear him just.
I think she was. I noticed her face. She
Like,
looked
whoa.
shocked. Like, wait a minute, hold on. This big brother is speaking. Thanks, Brandon, for that moment.
Yeah.
One of my other shows that I really liked a lot, I enjoyed immensely, was the show with Freeway Ricky Ross.
That was good.
Now, that had to be a defining moment for me, you know, because here I am, I'm interviewing Freeway Ricky Ross.
Yes.
You know, and do I become sort of starstruck? You know, I mean, this is Ricky Ross. You know, although he had gotten his notoriety through a criminal act, you know, some very horrendous criminal acts at that, you know, with trafficking narcotics. But Freeway Ricky Ross was so dynamic.
And really down to earth. I didn't feel he felt he didn't look at himself as a star. Or, you know, he was really down to earth.
Yeah.
Very approachable, easy to talk to.
Very approachable. And this guy he really amazed me. This was a guy who rubbed elbows with the Contra. He was right in the midst of the Contra scam, you know. And
Oliver North and all of those.
Oh my God, political, really heavyweight political.
He was very outspoken.
Yeah, very outspoken. You know, so that was one of my favorite shows. I appreciate Ricky Ross. I've heard from his manager off and on.
Okay,
and,
Echo.
Yeah, that's my guy. You know,
I follow him on social media, so I get to see where they're going with their book tour.
Right.
I think last time I saw them, they were out in LA. Enjoying the warm weather. They left us here. It's like 6 degrees in Cincinnati.
Right.
So send us some tickets so we come out there and we'll do a second episode.
Right. And Rick, I want you to come back, man. We're going to do another segment in 2018. Here we're going to do a really big forum with our youth. I'm going to need you back here. You and Echo, get back here, bruh. I'm going to need you, okay? So,
what about our Mother's Day episode? We had Sherry Sims and Aziza Nubia. She's the editor-in-chief of Natural Woman magazine.
Oh my God, I was in heaven.
Yes.
Two beautiful sisters.
And they were so smart and dynamic. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, right.
And poised.
Right. Now, one of the things that you know, as a perk with this position, you know, particularly since I'm the boss some of the times. She's the boss always, but I'm the boss. But I get a chance to interact with some of the most dynamic and versatile women in all of Cincinnati.
Yes.
And it blows my mind.
Yes. That was an amazing show.
It blows my mind.
And Sherry talked about the subject. That was right around the time of the controversy about black women at work.
Right.
After the Maxine Waters quote unquote scandal. And she just talked about some of the extra pressures that we as black women face in the workplace. And hey, maybe that was part of the movement for me to walk away from corporate America. Maybe she planted that seed there.
And you did so
I
shortly
did.
after.
And we did the show, you and I.
Right.
We got to talk about the youth program that I did with GCMI. We got to work with 3 summer interns, and they still stay in touch with me. One of them went away to the military, so he was home for the holidays, and they still stay in touch. I stay on them, make sure they achieving their goals, set new goals for the new year.
Right.
Make sure their goals are smart. They got to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely.
There you go. So little sisters, you know, remember this sister, get with her.
That's right.
You know, get with her. If you know, get your direction in life. You know, you got to know who your go-to people are, and this is your go-to person here. Okay. So young sisters, get with her.
I enjoy mentoring younger people. We had another show with young people. They came all the way from Maryland to be with us.
Absolutely.
Kiamsha, the young people from Kiamsha.
And that was your show that you put together?
Yeah, I met with them. I got to do some volunteering with Asala, and that's the group that started Black History Month.
Okay.
And they did a show over at Withrow High School, and it was amazing. The kids were so involved in learning history and learning, you know, about modern day slavery and things that they can do to protect themselves from human trafficking and, you know, the elementary to penitentiary pipeline, and they put it all out there on the line. Them kids were amazing.
They were awesome.
And
what was amazing to me is when, towards the end of the segment, when I asked them their own views on what would they say to other youth, and they were just, they really grabbed my heart. You know, the things that they had to say. You know, these kids, they didn't have their pants sagging. They weren't talking with a lot of slang. These were some educated, intelligent, young African Americans.
Doing something positive.
And if you think that that's something that we shouldn't be, then you need to rethink, because we were the first people of civilization. So why shouldn't we, you know, have the keys to be able to articulate and create and, you know, formulate sentences and to think and to be powerful mentally.
Yes.
You know.
And that show started off pretty interesting. You want to tell them about that? We had our girl Pride Line.
Right.
She dropped a beautiful song. We had some technical issues beforehand.
Yeah, and you know,
it worked out. So patient with us.
It worked out in our favor. And Pride Line, most of you may know that's been following NewOne Productions. Of course, you know about my play The Miracle. Pride Line is my stepdaughter, and she is phenomenal.
Ooh.
She is phenomenal.
She sang
not because
acapella
and
wiped us all out.
To me, but she is phenomenal, you know, and sister can go. She did. She sung acapella.
She did a great job. I forget the song, but it was talking about the children and what we're going to do for the children.
Yeah. Now, this song that she did sing, that's the song that opens up, that's the opening to the play.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's some other pieces that go to that, but she created that song like right on the spot. And she is amazing. And this is someone that's, you know, what I like about it was that she had an opportunity to show our youth out there that, you know, you can come from adversity, but you can change and it can strengthen you.
That's right.
You know, so to Pride, baby, keep doing what you're doing and follow her. She's on social media, follow her. Her name is Pride Line. Get on YouTube, check out her music. The girl is powerful.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
We've had some really good shows. We had another acapella singer here recently.
Yes.
Oh, and she sang one of my favorites. When she started piping up, I'm over there to Brandon like, she's gonna sing it last. She's gonna sing it last. Deborah Hunter.
At last.
She did her thing. It was way better than that.
Yeah, it was just a little bit. So yeah, Deb, and Deb has an event tonight. You know, by the time you see this, you know the event would have came and gone. But Deborah Hunter is.
But she performs every first Friday over at the Greenwich. So
right.
Make sure you guys go out and support her. She has some pipes on her, and she acts as well. I understand.
She does.
Mm-hmm.
She does.
Yep. She was in the movie Robert Jones did, Grandpa.
Absolutely.
Yes.
She, you know, she couldn't get in the Miracle, but now she's gonna get in it.
She'll be in the next rendition.
She's gonna be in it now. So,
yes.
And another phenomenal actress. You know, we'll be remiss if we don't mention the Queen.
Miss Gwendolyn Gordon.
You really loved that show.
That was one of my favorite episodes. I watched it on YouTube. I wasn't here. It was my birthday.
Right.
So I took the night off. So I wasn't here when you guys taped it.
Right.
And I was putting it out on YouTube, and I watched it. And I mean, I pulled out my notepad and was taking notes because she put out some knowledge. If you're interested in the film industry, productions, plays, she mapped it all out for you. All you gotta do is go to our YouTube channel and watch the episode with Gwendolyn Gordon, and she put it all out there on the line. Mm-hmm. She didn't hold anything back.
Of information.
She was so easy, you know, just everything she knew and everything she'd experienced, she was ready to pay it forward, and that was just beautiful to me.
You know,
I love to see that.
Right. I've been fortunate to have to be able to be surrounded around some really powerful women. Yourself, Mazan, you know, women that motivate me and get behind me and keep me doing what I do.
Y'all know he's a ladies' man.
But I'm gonna tell you now, that Gwendolyn Gordon, she will pick up the phone, and I'm like, what Gwen want? You know what I'm saying? This out the blue, and she will get on me about my work, about my projects that I have kind of like on the shelf, and she motivates me to write. So, you know, I'm always at home in the lab, dropping something down, because when Gwen crosses my mind, I'm compelled. She and Mazan compel me to continue at this craft, you know. So, and that ladies' man comment, I heard it, you know, I just played past it, you know. Right about now, I just want to be a television man, you know.
You're doing a great job. You're doing an awesome job.
So,
and I mean, every time I see you on social media, you're out in the community doing things. So he's not just in the studio flapping his gums about putting it on the line and putting it on the line. He's actually out in the community doing things and making a difference. Mazan had the clothing drive for the youth. Mm-hmm. It was undergarments for children who were affected by gun violence.
Exactly.
Yeah, you were out there donating, you know, speaking out, encouraging other people to donate. Right. And I have to commend you for that. That was awesome.
Thank you.
You've been busy.
Thank you so much. I have to stay busy. Thank you. You know, and when we're trying to build bridges, you know, it's necessary for all hands to be on deck. You know, and I'm so glad that I'm paired up with you. You know, because you keep me motivated. You keep me out there because you're doing some powerful things yourself.
I'm trying
you
to keep
making it happen. I'm trying to keep up with you. I'm like, oh, what she did? What she do next? So, you know, I'm trying to keep up with you, and you're doing a fantastic job. But yeah, it's necessary to really like, if you're gonna open your mouth and say some things, do some things. You know, just don't say them. Go do them. And it's a joy for me to feed someone that's hungry. It's a joy for me to give clothes to someone that needs clothes. It's a joy. It's a joy. For one that has taken so much in life, you know, it's just time to give back.
You do a good job.
You know, so,
I know also you're involved with the Cincinnati Human Relations Commission.
Absolutely.
And we were very fortunate to have Peter Mingo and Valerie Dow and Jackie Jackson. Jackie
Yes.
Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
They came on the show and they told us about what's going on the front lines. Tell us a little bit about the commission and what their role is in the city.
Well, Cincinnati Human Relations Commission, the SERVE team, as you know, this was one of the organizations that sprung up some years ago to be a liaison in the community, you know, for both the citizens and the police, so we can bridge that communication gap there. As you know, we have a lot of homicides in the city. We've had a lot of homicides, unfortunately. And, you know, we see things, but we don't say things in our community. And we do so because we we alienate. We say the police, we don't want to talk to police, that's snitching. But in the community, if they see a Peter Mingo, if they see a Jackie Jackson, if they see myself or Valerie or Ali Rashid,
yes,
any of those guys, Anthony Hill, any of these guys that's on our crew, when they see them,
they can talk to you guys.
They can come up and talk to us, So that's what's going on with that, and that was a great show, and I want to go into that more, but I'm gonna have to do it at another segment because Brandon just told us we're running out of time.
We're running out of time.
So I want to go
about all the filmmakers we had on the show.
Right, and I want to hit those. Lee Zellers, great show.
Twice.
Lee's been here twice, great show. Check Lee out.
Yes.
Go to YouTube, check him out. My main man.
Can't forget about Adam Steele and Gerald.
Can't forget about Gerald and Adam.
Woo.
I did a documentary with these two guys, and they had the foresight to do a documentary on opioid addiction. One of the first ones.
Long before it became a buzzword. And
Right. And I myself, here at NewOne Productions, we're doing a documentary on heroin as well. Ours is called Heroin, the Uncut Story. So look forward, it'll be here soon.
We've had Robert Jones. He did the movie Grandpa. He came on here in his velvet suit.
Oh my God. It was, ooh,
yeah, I didn't see the full length me.
People
yeah, I
like
didn't see the full length
me. And he keep on trying to steal you. And I'm not going, Rob.
Yeah.
Leave her alone.
We went up to Columbus this past week and did a radio show promoting the movie Grandpa.
Okay, see, I didn't know about that. Let me catch you out of town with my niece again.
We went all the way to Columbus. We had a great time.
Yeah.
You fed me. We went to Flavor 91. If anybody's in the Columbus area, I highly recommend it. It's a family-owned restaurant.
And we can't forget Rodney Harris. We can't forget Rodney.
He's the director of the Public Defender's Office.
We can't forget Rodney. Greg Lansman, we mentioned him. It's so many. And I'd be remiss if I don't mention Chef Jordan.
Yes. We did the relationship show. I wish we had more time to talk about that.
This is my guy. We both dreamed these dreams. We dreamed our separate dreams together at a time when it was difficult in our life. You know what I'm saying? So we had our dream. We got 1 minute. I got to rush now, put the pedal to the metal. I just want to tell y'all, it's been a blast sitting here reminiscing about some of our shows. We're up for the Blue Chip Awards. We're going to have some footage there. We're going to try to take it home. Y'all. So stay with us. View our shows. Watch us in 2018. We're going to do the thing.
And follow us on social media so you can keep up with us and what we're doing at On the Line TV show.
Love you. Peace, y'all. Take care, Cincinnati.